Have you ever imagined giving birth completely alone, surrounded by snow, with the thermometer reading 40 degrees below zero? In the far north of Siberia lives a people shaped by cold, resilience, and a deep connection to the land. But nothing could have prepared that woman for what was about to come. How does someone find strength when their own body is at its limit? How do you survive when the cold can take your life in minutes? This is a story about courage, instinct, and ancestral strength. Dolgan people. In the white vastness of the far north of Siberia lives a people who learned to turn adversity into survival. The Dolgan mainly inhabit the Taimyr Peninsula, in the territory of Krasnoyarsk Krai, within the Russian Federation, one of the most inhospitable regions on the planet. There, where winter dominates most of the year, and temperatures easily plunge below 40 degrees below zero, life does not merely endure. It quietly flourishes. The Dolgan are the result of a cultural mixture between Turkic and Samoyedic peoples, carrying in their identity traces of different traditions that intertwined over the centuries. This heritage shaped a unique way of life, adapted to frozen land, cutting winds, and the constant migration of reindeer. Historically, they lived in tents called chum, structures similar to those used by the Nenets and Evenki peoples, erected with light wood and covered with reindeer skins, capable of being assembled and dismantled quickly to follow seasonal movements. The tundra does not forgive mistakes. Every decision can mean the difference between life and death. For this reason, over generations, the Dolgan developed ingenious solutions to face extreme cold and the need for mobility. Among these solutions are mobile houses mounted on large runners, similar to those of a sled. These dwellings function like small cabins, compact and reinforced structures capable of resisting the Arctic wind and conserving heat inside. Today, many Dolgan live in permanent villages, but maintain traditional cultural practices that withstand time. Others still live as nomads. Traditional economy revolves around herding and hunting. Reindeer are the beating heart of this existence. It is in this setting that we follow the routine of a couple, Urui and Altana. He, at 50 years old, carries on his face the marks of wind and cold. She, at 30 years old, possesses the silent strength of someone who learned since childhood that the tundra demands courage. Married for 11 years, they live a semi-nomadic life, balancing tradition and adaptation to modern times. Every morning, before the weak Arctic sun rises above the frozen horizon, Altana awakens. The interior of the mobile house is still warmed by the embers of the previous night. She moves carefully, protecting her already rounded belly. She is 7 months pregnant with her first child. Despite the advanced pregnancy, her routine does not slow down. In the tundra, time does not wait. There are days when Urui dedicates himself to fishing, capturing salmon, omul, and pike, fish that withstand icy waters and guarantee essential food for the winter. On other days, hunting is the priority. Arctic hares are pursued across the white immensity, an important source of protein during the harshest months. Their fur is used to produce garments that protect against the relentless cold. In addition, Urui deals daily with the management of the reindeer, guiding the herds, protecting them from predators, selecting the strongest animals for traction. Altana dedicates herself to work that is equally vital. She sews winter clothing from reindeer, fox and hare skins. Her hands, firm and precise, transform raw hides into resistant boots, thick gloves, lined coats and blankets capable of facing extreme temperatures. Beyond sewing, Altana takes care of food preservation. She cleans, dries and stores meat and fish. She produces frozen meat consumed raw in thin slices, dried fish that can last for months, and fatty soups that warm the body during the deep winter. Fat is precious. It is concentrated energy against the cold. Now that she is pregnant, she rarely stays alone. The Dolgan community values mutual support. Next month, the arrival of Urui's mother is expected, an experienced midwife who will help with the birth of the child. One morning, the sky dawned clear, but the wind blew with a difficult-to-interpret omen. Urui decided to go out to hunt Arctic foxes. The fur of these animals is valuable, especially for reinforcing clothing. He intended to return that same afternoon, as he had done so many times over the years. The reindeer pulled the sled firmly, their hooves sinking into the compact snow. Urui slowly disappeared into the white vastness, while Altana remained preparing the meal for his return. The routine seemed to follow its usual course, predictable within the unpredictability of the Arctic. Arctic foxes are cunning. Their tracks are subtle, almost invisible when the wind blows strongly. Hunting them requires patience and careful reading of the landscape. Urui followed footprints that appeared and disappeared beneath the snow. 3 hours passed. The silence was deep, interrupted only by the creaking of snow beneath his steps. Then the sky changed. Dense clouds advanced rapidly, and the wind intensified violently. In a matter of minutes, a snowstorm took over the region. Visibility dropped drastically. Thermometers plunged to 40 degrees below zero. The cold became piercing, penetrating to the bones. Urui knew that continuing would be imprudent. With quick and experienced movements, he set up his temporary tent. He secured the stakes, reinforced the structure against the wind, and sheltered with his reindeer nearby. There, he would wait until the storm subsided. Meanwhile, in the mobile house, Altana felt an unexpected contraction. First mild, then more intense. Her heart raced. There were still 2 months left until the birth. She tried to remain calm, breathing deeply, leaning on the wooden table. Another contraction came, stronger. Shortly after, her water broke. Alone, amid the storm shaking the walls of the house on runners, Altana went into labor. Every minute felt like an eternity. She remembered the teachings of the older women, the stories of births carried out in difficult conditions. She repeated to herself that her body knew what to do. Between contractions, she silently prayed that Urui was safe and that the storm would not last long. Hours passed. The cold tried to invade through the cracks, but the fire kept the interior warm. Finally, amid effort and tears, the cry of a baby echoed inside the small cabin. A girl, small, fragile, but alive. Altana wrapped her in thick blankets, holding her against her chest, sharing warmth. When the storm finally lost strength and night fell over the tundra, Urui returned. He crossed the darkness guided by memory of the terrain and the faint light of the house. Upon opening the door, he found Altana sitting, exhausted, holding their daughter in her arms. For a moment, he could not believe what he was seeing. Fear turned into relief. Disbelief gave way to gratitude. Despite the nightmare Altana had faced alone, the child had been born alive. The storm had passed, like so many others before it. But that night would never be forgotten. Without wasting time, Urui took his reindeer, connected the mobile house, and went to the village. He needed to fetch his mother. In about 1 hour, the experienced midwife took over the care of her daughter-in-law and granddaughter. She checked the health of the mother and the newborn, guiding the first days. In the following weeks, Urui's mother remained with them, helping Altana recover and care for the child. The girl's crying began to mix with the sound of the Arctic wind, bringing a new melody to the couple's life. The mobile house, once silent, now pulsed with hope. The story of Urui and Altana is a portrait of life below zero, an existence shaped by resilience, adaptation, and love.